The show must go on. All right. So let's see who fed it and ate it this week. Excuse me. Shout out to Joe Herb. Excuse me. Shout out to Joe Herb. He said, "Here's some medicine money, bro." Appreciate you, Herb. I don't tell you. I'll just say this just for me because it makes me feel some kind of way to have to admit some weaknesses to people. But I am miserable. I am a miserable sick person. I'm fucking miserable. I was laughing about this with my sister yesterday. I'm at my father's place. He's on his breathing machine, getting sleepy. You want to go? You want to go to sleep? My sister was supposed to come there earlier to cook him some spaghetti for his birthday, but she took forever. She called him at 10 o'clock. She didn't show up there till damn near 4, damn near 5 o'clock. So he's sleepy. But she's not feeling well. You can see it all over her face. So it looks like mine, a little thinner. Her eyes are just, no. Right, low as shit. And she said she's sick. When she's sick, she's whatever. And that's what I was telling her. It's like, you took long enough. Look, I got to go home and take my damn medicine because I feel like crap. And she's telling me about how she feels bad when she's sick. I said, I get angry when I get sick. I get really angry and unconsolable is the word. I get angry and unconsolable. I hate fucking being sick. Being sick brings out my fucking mean side. For real. I get angry as fuck. Last night when I was on the phone trying to talk to that customer service or whatever the fuck they want to call themselves, I almost called that woman a bitch on the phone because she was getting on my goddamn nerves. I was giving the same information 3 goddamn times, and then she couldn't hear. And I'm like, I can't even talk. I can't hear myself. This bitch, it was pissing me off. It was really pissing me off. And I had to talk to 4 different people and relay the same fucking information that if they type it into a computer system, y'all should share. There should be some parity between the automated line where I gave all this goddamn information to the person who picks up the call and starts talking to me, asking me all that same information all over again. I'm sitting there thinking like, you know what? If I was dying, I'd be dead already. I'd fucking be dead already trying to get through this fucking phone tree bullshit to get to a live person so they can sit there and give me the same shit I just got in the phone tree. I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. I hung up one time. I did. I fucking hung up. After we spent 10 minutes going through what pharmacy is close, and this is the right area code and shit like that. Yeah, I got my Cheapo Depot cup. I got to turn it the other way. I'm not advertising for Home Depot. It's a good job, though. I finally got pissed off when she asked me, I'm sorry, Mr. MC, but we can't help you if I don't know the number to the pharmacy. And I'm sitting here like this, my nose killing me. I'm just like, I just turned off the phone. I just turned it off. I'm like, I just sat here just looking like, do I really at 3 o'clock in the morning need to boot up my fucking computer to Google search a pharmacy near me for the bitch that's sitting on the phone trying to to send a prescription to a pharmacy near me? What sense does this make? What fucking sense did this make? But your automated service works real good to charge me $20 to talk to a doctor, if you can ever get to it. Just so they can send a script to the pharmacy for me. Awesome. I feel my money is well spent. It's a good thing I have health care. My company stopped using Kaiser, which is the biggest one around here. I need to go back to Kaiser. At least they right down the fucking street. I could have showed up in the emergency room, sick of that, and got taken care of in an hour or so. The pharmacy would at least be open to just say, hey, man, I need an inhaler for my lungs and I need something for my nose to clear this shit out. You got a little pump, air syringe, turkey baster. What do I need? Just let me know what I need and I'll get it so I can get this shit cleared out because I need to be able to sleep. I'm already not sleeping as much as most people anyway. I need to be able to actually get a good night's sleep or I'm going to be hell on wheels. That'll be a whole problem. And you won't like me when I'm angry. You will not like me when I'm angry. It is not the place I like spending much time. So I don't tell you guys this stuff. The point I was making is that I don't tell you guys this stuff because I am fucking trolling misery or no shit like that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm telling you this stuff to let you know reasons of why things are happening the way they are. Why the show is starting late. Why my attitude is fucked up. Why it might sound like I got a plunger stuck in my fucking nose. That's why. So if my attitude seems a bit poor, now you know fucking why. I don't like being sick. I get angry when I get sick. It's admitting a weakness. It's succumbing to a weakness. Yes, I know we all have it. I know we all get sick. I fucking know that. I've had kids. I've taken care of other people when they're sick. I'm good at it. I don't like being sick. I get angry. I don't like having to depend on other people to take care of me. And I'm not dependent right now, except on a fucking doctor at 3 a.m. to give me a prescription for Flonase and antibiotics. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. That shouldn't have took that goddamn long. Healthcare is like insurance. If you're healthy and nothing is going wrong, it's a waste of goddamn money. But like I was telling my father, who was waiting on his doctor to call him back to get the medication he needs to keep fucking breathing. And every time he talked to a doctor, he'd get a different answer. I tell them what my boy Ron told me. It's called a practice for a reason, dude. It's called a practice for a reason. Everybody just working at it. In effect, they don't really know shit. They know enough. They know more than you, but not enough to figure out what's going wrong with you when something that does happen. They're looking it up in a book the same way you'd sit your ass online and Google it. They just have a bigger library. Out of 15,000 cases we saw like this, do you have a scratchy throat? Do you have stuff coming out of your eyes? No. Checkbox. Dumb shit. Shout out to the Malika B band, a little something for the hero medication fund. Appreciate you, Malika. That's what it is. It's the hero get right fund. And Malika, you donated the other day too. I think I saw that come in. Appreciate you, bro. And Dr. Rosie is in here. No message, just support. Is that a new picture? I think she got a new picture. Look like she's making kissy faces. I'd accept that on a Sunday. Why the fuck not? Appreciate you, Dr. Rosie. You're the wrong kind of doctor. I was joking with my niece about that yesterday. Like my middle niece, because my sister has a couple of daughters. So I'm an uncle on top of a grandfather and a brother and all the rest of that shit. And she was joking about she would want to be a doctor. She wants that PhD. just so she could be a doctor, so somebody can ask, "Is there a doctor in the house?" And he's like, "Yes, I am, but I can't help. I can't heal you." like, like, shut the fuck up. I told her I wanted to get my doctorate. One of the main reasons I wanted to get my doctorate, just so when people talk shit, they got to put respect on my name. Who does that motherfucker think he is? Doctor. Doctor, motherfucker. Who does that doctor motherfucker think he is? Exactly. Kiss my ass. So I know little things inconsequential to helping people, but it would be fun in the room to say, "Is there a doctor in the house? I'm a doctor. This man has chest pains. You better call a physician." Psychological doctor. If he gets up and starts talking crazy, I'll talk him down. It's not what I do. I'm a veterinarian. So that was a joke I was having with my niece. It was fun. I had a good conversation. We had a couple of jokes. We was roasting, not Sydney Sweeney, but the Sydney Sweeney shit got into us talking about this other chick that my father saw on TV that was doing these shower in a day things. And he said this woman is way too goddamn skinny. One day shower commercials. I'll show you a picture of this shit and how black folks roast the shit. Not that most of y'all don't know because you black already, but black folks roast the shit out of people. We are not shit in that capacity, dude. We will roast the hell out of folks. You cannot show up looking fucked up. All right. Now, my father confirmed that this was the woman he was talking about that he saw on. That he saw on his TV that he thought that was too small. Now, the point of it is that we were talking about, I think it was fashion or something like that, because my father still watches black and white television shows. Okay. He's that old. So he's sitting in the house and I'm looking at the show that he had on. And it looked like Perry Mason. The actor that plays Perry Mason is on there. And then another actor that I remember from The Fountainhead was in this show too. I said, "Oh, yeah, I know that dude too." Right? Can't remember the guy's name, but he was playing Mr. Kittredge in The Fountainhead. Excuse me. So we were talking about fashion, and my niece was there. How things come back around. My father made the joke about certain things, how they used to wear them, and now kids nowadays wear them, and they think it's awesome. I say, yeah, that's like that picture of Sydney Sweeney. One of the outfits she had on was, it's a jeans ad, but they're bell bottoms. That's all they are. They're just bell bottoms. I said, they're just bell bottom pants. That's not fucking new. I remember those, right? So discussing that, and then I had the little anecdote about how small she was because my father didn't know who Sydney Sweeney was, and my niece, she got a big. She know who the hell this chick is, and we're talking about how ridiculous this whole complaint session was going about this chick getting out there about what's in her jeans and her jeans are superior and all the rest of this shit. And I was like, these people need to get a life or get on a treadmill, right? Well, thank you, Malika. Yeah, Raymond Burr. I dropped in a little anecdote that, yeah, you know what? I heard what size this woman is because we're trying to describe why she's attractive to people. And I told her she is a white girl 10. She is a white boy 10. She is. Sydney Sweeney is a white boy 10. Why? Because she got blonde hair, blue eyes, and big titties. That's why. And she in Hollywood. Hollywood always promotes some blonde, big titty girl. They always do. So I was making the comparison with my niece about how everybody's bigging up Sydney Sweeney, but now Scarlett Johansson is bitching about sexism in Hollywood. I'm like, man, shut up and have a seat. You passed your time now. You're older now, Scarlett. Doesn't mean you're not still attractive, baby, but It's up. It's a new young model on the block. And they're gonna push that. So I was sitting there saying that it always happens. I don't know why they get upset about that shit. Because Hollywood will always have a new blonde every couple of years that they will push into everything. And Scarlett was that blonde at one time too. And they pushed her ass. She made all this goddamn money. Now you complaining about sexism? Motherfucker, we sold Avengers movies off your ass in a tight get up with C cups. Quit it. Quit it. You've made your living off of sexuality, being sexualized. You could have complained. You could have. You good friends with John Favreau. You could have told him I'm not stepping through the ropes in Iron Man with my ass all out and all that shit. You could have did that, but you didn't. You took the job and you know what the job entailed. It didn't raise any fuss about it. You made a bunch of Avengers movies being Natasha Big Booty Romanoff. Come on, quit it. But now you upset because you in your 40s about to pass the wall and now it's sexism. No, it's not. It's ageism. You don't like getting old. And Hollywood don't like old bitches either. Don't matter how cute you look. There is a gap area where you're gonna have to be between you're not young and hot anymore, but you're the old lady that was kind of hot at one time. You in that middle area right now where they'll throw people like you away. It sucks, but it is what it is. That's Hollywood. I don't work there, but I can see it from outside looking at it like, yeah, this is some bullshit. They're gonna have a new bitch next year. And Sydney Sweeney is that bitch now. She is. Everybody has seen her boobs already. Even me. I don't even know what show she acted on, but I've already seen her boobs. Unmasked. Nipple swinging free. She's going through her Dorian Gray moment. Scarlett's not ugly. She's just older now. That's all it is. Some of y'all may have seen that last Jurassic movie, right? I haven't. I haven't. So I don't know how rough she look in it, but in the commercial she looked kind of rough. You can see the signs of aging that she's not in her 20s or 30s anymore. You can see it. I'm not that adverse to it. I like grown women anyway, so it's not that big of a deal to me, but I can see it on your face. But make no mistake about it, you ain't wearing a tank top and shooting guns with your arms out because people think your little bony arms are super muscular and shit. No, because they want to highlight whatever breasts you do got. So Sydney Sweeney is now that girl. I don't know what show she acts on. I saw her in Madam Web. That was it. But all online, it's shit all over the place. There, you can see her bare ass boobs flopping in the wind from some show. The same way you can look up pictures of Jennifer Lawrence when she was becoming that hot girl, another blonde chick, with her boobs all hanging out too. We was just joking last week about Florence Pugh and had her little boobies out. She got little A cups. She still had them out. It is what the fuck it is, dude. That is Hollywood. Those are the jobs you guys picked. You could have not took that job and complained about the same shit, but you didn't. You took that fucking job and you did that role, and you went bare-breasted. So stop. What's up, Mr. Jack? Yeah, she was, far as I know, she was in Euphoria. That's where the pictures come from. That she naked and simulating sex and shit like that in Euphoria. I'm like, is that why these young Yeezys and shit like that show? The bony bitches fucking? Ugh. What up, beastly nerd? Sex always sells. We play rivals. Why the fuck was everybody going crazy for Emma Frost? Scarlet Witch. But not Scarlet Witch so much. Invisible Woman. Sex. Emma Frost showed up there with them big ass thighs hanging out. Squirrel Girl got the little frumpy girl, big booty and thighs and tetas. Invisible Woman got a nice ass. And you spend most of the game looking at the back of her fucking head anyway. Invisible or not. Come on, man. Stop. And sex sells a lot of shit both ways, male or female. So in relation to understanding that, I don't have a problem with Sydney getting out there and getting her money, but I know that's the white boy standard. That's the white boy 10. Now, the part I realized hearing the show the other day and hearing this discourse with these people I think it was Pierce Morgan or something like that. These people was talking about this shit. And I'm like, I didn't even need to look at the women that was on there bitching about it because I knew some of them was some black women. And by the description, some of them with septum rings and shit in their nose and stuff like that. It's like, you really need to shut the fuck up. That little bitch ain't doing nothing to nobody except modeling a pair of jeans and doing a double entente with the fact that she has good genes enough that she hits that beauty standard. Oh my God, we didn't know that, did we? Shut up. You want some big round chick up there laying around in the jeans talking that same shit? No, you wouldn't buy it. No. You wouldn't. And I know that offends some people, but look, I don't hand out bubble wrap. I don't stock that shit here. I don't. The truth is the truth is the truth. And the truth is the shit that hurts to hear, but is what you need to hear. That's just what it is. Being big and round is not the beauty standard for anybody but a big and round man. And even then, he's hoping you're a small girl on the inside. That is not the ideal. It's not. It never has been. Anywhere on the globe. So I don't have a problem with Sydney Sweeney laying around in some jeans, talking about that shit, her blue eyes and all the rest of that shit, because who cares? Who the fuck cares? What is this doing to little girls? I don't know, making them want to buy jeans and work out? I live in a state where most people work out. And you can see people all hours of the day wearing athleisure clothes or workout clothes because they go into or coming from the gym. I can drive by a shopping center or a strip mall and see the gym parking lot full of people. It ain't just men. There's women in there too. So I don't want to hear this shit about body standards and shit like that. Maybe if you're in the Midwest, where a chick with some meat on her bones is most desirable. But other places, your ass need to be a little thinner. Nobody is signing up to date you to get into a powerlifting competition. And that's why Kevin always pissed them motherfuckers off with talking about nobody wants to date a linebacker. He's right, because nobody does. Get that shit out your head. Don't mean you're not desirable to somebody, but you are not the symbol of what is desirable. That's a fact. If it was, you'd have more dating options. Sexual marketplace, my fantasies do not involve any big and round women. Just doesn't. Now, I was going to title this stream because I did my thumbnail, Who's in Them Jeans? And you can take it both ways. Because Sydney Sweeney ain't much to me, but I wouldn't kick her out of bed either. I wouldn't. But she low-key has a derpy face to me. Like certain poses and stuff like that, she looked like a retard. She does. She look like she on that low end of the spectrum. She just does. Doesn't mean she don't have a big pair of breasts. Doesn't mean she's not a nice looking woman in clothes. Doesn't mean that at all. But she Some days she look like she on that low end. Genetically blessed and mentally stunted. Now, the information that I found on my father, I didn't know that how big Sydney Sweeney was. And when it came out of this interview, was that she's a size 0. And I'm like, 0 in adult sizes? God damn, she's small as fuck. And that got my father to talking about that. He was remarking about how, remember that TV adds 10 pounds to these women. So he's looking at the picture and saying, like, if you add 10 pounds to this woman, she ain't nothing but this. And he don't get down with that. He likes a woman with some meat. And then he remembered this chick from this shower in a day commercial, right? And he was trying to describe her about how small she looks. And I'm like, really? And so I had to look at me and my niece, looked up the picture on our phones to try to find this shit because we try to get a visual of what this chick looked like. And so this is the chick that my father was talking about. And I'm like, oh yeah, she's small as shit. She tiny. This woman on here is tiny. Now, most people will tell you can look between her legs and see that she's small as shit, right? Well, I made a joke to my cousin, or excuse me, not my cousin, my niece, that if you pull up her shirt, you can see light shining through her belly button. My cousin was dying because my cousin, excuse me, not my cousin, my niece is like maybe 200 pounds. She's a little overweight, right? Could be in the obese category. She overweight. She was laughing her ass off. She thought that shit was funny as hell. But it's true. This woman is tiny. If this is a picture from a commercial and it adds 10 pounds to you, this bitch barely 90 pounds. Barely. Now, my ex-wife is a small woman. She ain't this goddamn small. She had that same gap between her legs when she stands just straight up. Like, holy fuck, dude, you tiny as shit. Like, you get undressed, it looked like a skeleton with skin on it. Now, I'm not body shaming this woman because you don't control some of that shit. Some of this is not in your control, whatever. She's not ugly. She's a pretty looking woman, but she is a slight woman. She is. So I can see what my father was talking about. Right? While he was concerned, I was like, yeah, that's the girl you like, man, get her a sandwich. I'm going to break you if we get to doing some festivities. That's going to be a problem. Right? But black folks, being black folks, was going to fuck in on her. And it's just because they put her on the screen to sell redoing your shower in one day, and it had the effect on a certain portion that they were worried about how big that woman was. Now, the whole Sydney Sweeney part of it, well, that means Sydney Sweeney is actually really small, really fucking small. And I didn't know that. Okay, let's use this picture so we can see this. Because mind you, I've never seen this woman in real life. Never seen her before in real life, right? So I only know Sydney Sweeney through looking at pictures. That shit right there. That's why I'm saying, I saw part of the commercial where she said something about your butt or something like that. It's like, you ain't got no butt, baby. You got a back, but you ain't got no butt. That is not a butt. That's a hump, but that's not a butt. Right? These pants, these are bell bottoms from the fucking 60s. These are bell bottoms. But I'm looking at her arms. It's like, damn, she tiny as fuck. Is that really her? She tiny as shit. Yeah, Sydney Skinny. You're right, her. So I'm not body shaming her at all. She is pretty. She's a pretty girl. But this face right here, that looked like that derpy, I don't want to be here face. That's what I mean. Sometimes she look like, I'm on drugs. You give me this, I'll suck you off. Like, a zero? Bro, I thought we got away from that with these models that was zeros. And then people like I almost said Tisha Campbell. Um the black supermodels and stuff like that was coming in. They had more hips and shit like that. And people start understanding. No, you can look, healthy and not sickly. It's okay. The clothes look better when you got curves. Skinny white bitch syndrome. Yeah. So I was making a joke. Yeah, Tyra Banks. Yeah, Tyra Banks and shit. That you understood an actual normal woman's body type is a little bit more filled out, not looking like a chick that never hit puberty. Which fashion is another weird world that I don't even want to go into. Right, with their beauty standards. Oh, fucking Pearl. Right. So that made me look at Sydney Sweeney completely differently. It's like, well, no wonder it looks like she has big titties. If you put two olives on a toothpick, it'll look huge as hell. Like, holy shit. So she ain't really got nothing really going on except for a pretty face and a pair of big boobs on a little body. Oh, that makes this, hit differently to me. It hits differently. I didn't know she was that small. I really didn't know she was that damn small. A zero, I couldn't even think that was an adult size. I'm like, what is that in kids? Grown women don't wear zeros. Not the ones that's not a supermodel. Like that is tiny by a lot of standards to me. So if she talking about if the commercial is about, I should have saw this picture earlier. I would have used this one on my thumbnail. If they're talking about good genes and shit like that, you might want to get her a sandwich. Put her in the MCU and give her a sandwich. I'm serious. Maybe she'll blow up to look like fucking Rhea Ripley or some shit. She's tiny. She is a tiny, slight woman. It's nothing against her. That's not overly, raising my flagpole. It's not. She's not ugly, but to me, that's concerning. That's what I told my father. Said she got that scary weight, dude. That's that weight that you worry something else is going on. Like, does she have a problem eating or something? Ooh, that's worrisome. So I'm gonna be saying, and she 5'3". Fuck, she damn near a certified midget. She is damn near a certified little person. Where's Artie Ibmore at? He'd be all on that shit. 5'3" is like 2 inches lower than the lowest I'll go. That's 2 inches. That's an inch below my bottom. Like, bro. And she is not making the height to ride this ride, and she ain't meeting the weight limit. Because something will break if you get jostled. No, that's scary. Like I said, nothing against her. I didn't know she was that small. And finding out she's that small is concerning to me. I'm not her daddy or her boyfriend. That shit sound concerning to me. Like, is she all right? You okay? Let me take you out to dinner and watch you for the rest of the day. That's concerning. That make me think she's not a full grown woman. That's all it means to me. You're not a full grown woman. You got to have some hip on you or something. have a baby or something, gain some baby weight. You're not grown into your grown woman body yet. That's concerning. And it's in Hollywood, and they putting that shit forward, so you know what they get into. They're like the diddling of the youth. So they have a fetish, a type. The younger they look, the better. So for me on the Sydney Sweeney thing, I wasn't offended by the ad at all. I did watch the ad. I wasn't offended. I don't give a shit. I do not ride on the offended train that pull up at everything. Oh, it's the idea of the beauty standard. Man, shut the fuck up. You ain't buying no American Eagle jeans. Who cares? You not paying Sydney Sweeney and you not influencing a bunch of white chicks to buy these jeans. Why do you care? You want your body type to be the one represented? Then make some fucking jeans and do a commercial. Because I can remember that when somebody did a political ad with a bunch of black strippers in it, nobody was talking about body types and putting something forth as a beauty standard. Nobody complained. Nobody complained about that. I complained about the audacity of trying to reach black males through big bootied, bullet in the hole, bullet in the ass strippers for politics. Get over it, dude. Get the fuck over it. Stop it. Shit is not that goddamn critical. So I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to say my 2 cents on that shit because I didn't feel the need to fire up a separate stream to do that. But it was enough to understand that it's silly. Maybe you have some valid complaints. Maybe you just don't like American Eagle. Maybe you don't like Sydney Sweeney because she everywhere and she taking jobs from some other folks. Oh, she ain't. She's taking a job that was meant for skinny white bitches. You are not. So get the fuck over it. Get a step ladder. Get the fuck over it. Just saying. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. I need to refill my tea real quick. Give me half a second. Fucking hell. So moving on. Skinny tits. Silly. Other thing that was in the news this week. Wait, Beasley got something. Let's see what Beasley got. What they don't understand is that weirdly shaped women with pink/green hair and nose rings ain't moving the needle in merchandise. No. I have somebody who works with me like that. And even at her size, she's probably about 5'4". She does have a nice chest. She does have a little pooch, fupa, whatever the fuck you want to call it, because she does have kids. But she would be really attractive if, at least in my eyes, she'd be attractive if these things weren't going on. She'd have a multicolored rainbow bright head of hair, greens and purples all over the place and shit. Long ass black witch nails. Dark ass lipstick. Sleeve tattoos all down her arm. Oh, and I forgot the tongue ring. I see that shit and I'm like, you were really regular, right? Try really hard not to be regular. Because you can't tell me that's you finding yourself. Not from where we are. Where we are, that's extreme. Shit, you should have moved to San Francisco. But you didn't do that. That means you're really regular. You were super regular, trying to stand out in a place where everybody else is regular. It takes on the view of looking performative to me, which doesn't make it attractive. She could be attractive. All that shit don't make her that. Does it? Somebody would hit it though. Wouldn't be me. I can't get in all that shit. Told y'all before I sent my ex-wife one time a picture of my coworker. This is at my old job. And I sent my ex-wife a picture of my coworker. She had purple hair, light-skinned chick, tall, purple hair, big ass belly. And I sent her a picture of her, says my new girlfriend. And ex-wife sent me back a response like, you wouldn't date a woman like that because she has purple hair. She knew. She knew. I couldn't sneak that joke past her. She was like, no fucking way. That ain't your type. You wouldn't even do that shit. She know better. I don't get into all that shit. Look, I move through the world not trying to draw hell of attention to myself. I don't give a fuck about attention like that. I don't. That shit draws way too much attention. That's like doing a stealth mission at night and you got a whole fucking marching band walking behind you. No. No, thank you. I move in, I get out. If I'm unnoticed, it doesn't make a difference to me because I don't need everybody else's goddamn attention. I'm not fueled by everybody else's attention. That does not do it for me. That drains me. I don't need that shit. That shit, way too performative. You need way too much goddamn attention focused on you, which is, to me, problematic because that means you're not secure in yourself. That's what it means. And if you don't like yourself, what makes me think I should like you? What's going on within your head that's making you not like yourself? Let's look under the hood, shall we? It gets into some other shit. So, moving out of the Sydney Sweeney shit, how do guys feel about tattoos? It depends on the guy. If you have a guy that has a bunch of tattoos, he might get off on that shit. If you have a guy who doesn't have a bunch of tattoos, you might understand that he don't find that shit very attractive. Me personally, I've dated women that have tattoos. They don't have a hell of a lot of them. They don't have whole arm sleeves and shit like that, and shit across their titties and stuff. They don't have all of that crap. But they do have, a tattoo behind my ear, a tattoo on my shoulder, something on my ankle or something like that. You know, those respectful positions that women used to get tattoos to where they could still carry on a normal life and a regular job and not look like they're trying to audition for a porn movie or be in the biker bar. And maybe that's just my older sensibilities. I am a Gen Xer, by the way. So tattoos were something that was never supposed to be your whole fucking identity. And that's all I see when I see the younger generations getting them. They're trying to form an identity out of that shit. It's like saying you took a guy, a regular white dude, who used to get his ass kicked. He started taking self-defense martial art or something like that, MMA usually. Now he got a little big because he started working out. What's the next thing he started getting? Tribal fucking tattoos. Because he has now bought the badass starter kit, which means I need to have muscles and I need to do this and I need to have tattoos. No, you don't. You don't. Bruce Lee was a badass with no tattoos at damn near 100 or something pounds. And he was a badass, world recognized as a badass. It don't take all of that to be all that performative shit to be a badass. You just need to be one. Plain and simple. You don't need to warn everybody. You don't need to warn everybody about that shit. You need to have a motherfucker fuck around and find out. Oh, this nigga pussy. He pussy. I'm going to ask you to stop talking to me one time. Oh, what the fuck you mean? You stop talking to you. What's that going to do? Because the next conversation you'll probably have will be with your doctor. Oh, man, you ain't going to do shit. That's how that shit's supposed to roll. That's how it's supposed to roll. Studio said he'll like tats on women. Little ones, I don't mind. My coworker at this current job, she used to be there. She used to get a bunch of fucking tattoos. And then one time she wore shorts at work. And then you could see her legs and shit. It looked like some of the most random, dumbass shit I've ever seen on a body. It looked like, to me, like a race car driver's, NASCAR driver's suit. A bunch of random shit on them. It didn't make any sense. It made no sense whatsoever. All this shit on the back of the calves and on the thighs and all this stuff. It's like, why does a woman have a big ass picture on her thigh of a naked woman with a snake and shit? That don't make nobody, no real dude think, oh yeah, I want to fuck her. No, it just make you look easy as fuck though. The best thing I heard from this was from my crazy ex, right? And her thing was she has a very nice body. Tall, big breasted, nice legs, all that shit. Very nice body. And her comment to me about why she didn't have tattoos, because she asked me if I had any. I said, I don't have any tattoos. I've designed a lot. I don't have any. And I asked her why she didn't have tattoos. And she asked me, what's your favorite sports car? And I said, Ferrari Testarossa. And she said, have you ever seen a bumper sticker on one? And I'm like, no, why would you do that? She said, exactly. Why would you ruin perfection? By tagging it? Is that how you ruin perfection? No. That was why. And I was like, that's the best fucking answer I've ever heard. She sees herself, a woman in her body, as being her body is perfect the way it is. Why would she mar that tattooing it? Ooh, that's not for her. I'm like, cool, we can rock. My coworker asked her that question. He's like, oh, I was bored, so I went and got another tattoo. So you blew another $150 on another pointless tattoo? What is this of? Some other random ass shit. I'm like, oh my God, dude. Y'all motherfuckers gonna look really crazy in the old folks' home. Really crazy in the old folks' home. All this sagging skin and shit like that with all this ridiculous stuff all over it. Can't see somebody going to their casket to kiss their grandmother goodbye for the last time and she got tattoos all over her face and neck and shit. Ugh. Stupid. So for me, it depends on how many and where they at. That's it. I like women to have classy tattoos. If you got a big ass Pepsi symbol on the back of your fucking thigh, it's like, well, it makes it kind of awkward if I want to take you out to a nice, black tie event or something like that. You got a short dress on and all this shit is just blaring out in front of everybody. Looks ridiculous. Unless everybody else in there is doing that shit too. In which case you wouldn't be at that event, would you? You're not a rock drummer. You're not a biker. You're a regular person working a regular goddamn job. You're not a rock star. You're not a punk rocker. You're not. You're just regular. Like I said her name earlier, but Rhea Ripley. You look at Rhea Ripley's transformation over the course of 2 years, and all she did to put on the badass uniform was dye her hair black and get more tattoos. That was it. Oh, and the long nails and the goth makeup. Because white girls are in that shit because white girls don't want to be regular white girls either. She ain't even from America. She's Australian. But the influence of coming to America is this shit. It's working for her. It's paying her. But the tattoos are forever. That's going to be there forever. So all that shit on your hand and stuff like that, that's going to be there forever. But you're a professional wrestler. I guess it'll work. When you get up to Mae Young's age. You're running out to the ring with your wig and your false teeth in. That's going to look awesome then, too. So for me, it depends. Totally depends. The women you previously described sound like a goth. Neurodivergent Teletubbies. Yeah, pretty much, Cyrus. Pretty much. She trying. She trying. I've seen a regular picture of her. She looked cuter as the regular chick she was or is, because that's who you are on the inside. So all the rest of that shit don't matter. Excuse me. High keys retirement homes are going to be looking like eldritch summoning chambers with tattered up millennial disease in there. Yeah, they will be looking for a fucking elder demon to come rolling through there. Uh-oh. I got to clear this out for a second. What's that? I summon Granny Smith in walker mode. Take your vitamins. It's going to look real crazy. What up to, Trev? Now, the other little bit of news that came out this week that had people jonesing about something on a video was that our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man Tom Holland is back and they're filming Brand New Day. And he revealed his little suit. Sony revealed the little suit that he's wearing. And the internet was all aflutter about what the costume will look like. Will it have raised webbing? What's the symbol on the chest look like? It got all aflutter about that, and I really didn't think, for me, I really didn't think it mattered. Film the fucking movie. Yes, Spider-Man is in his regular costume. I saw the last movie. Okay? I saw the last movie. Can you get to the part where, the movie is actually done? Or do we have to have this 1 year lead up to a movie actually being done? Now, if you didn't see it, I'm going to throw this little short on the screen because this is what Sony put out. So fair use. I shouldn't catch much for this YouTube because they put it up here. So this is the Sony Spider-Man costume reveal for Brand New Day. Oh, excuse me, Brand New Day. I wonder if Kofi Kingston gonna show up, because I can tell you, Cody Rhodes in the Naked Gun was kind of funny. Kind of funny. So let's look at this. Talk about a thin person. How tall is he? Like 5 foot something? Probably 100 something pounds. It's a skinny Spider-Man. And there's the chest symbol. Okay. Cool. You look a little older. Got a little mustache there. This French mustache, huh? Did you cut off your mustache, Thomas?
We ready?
So it doesn't look bad. The spider on his chest don't really have a head though, does it? It just got legs and a body. It has a little ass head. Like, where's the upper part to the spider, bro? I forgot something. He doesn't get to have a head? Yeah. But him having a classic Spider-Man costume, yeah, we would want that forever. Yeah, it looks fine. So the Cyrus suit looks fine to me, crazy as it sounds. I'm seeing the movie for Hulk and the Punisher. I didn't know until this costume reveal that the Hulk was in it too. I'm like, God damn, he ain't got none of a movie of his own. None. Hulk, Punisher, Daredevil. Bro, I'm not looking for all these goddamn people in his movie. I want to see a Spider-Man movie. Can I get that? Probably not. The same way I couldn't get a Superman movie with just Superman in it. Maybe Superman and a villain. No. Got to be a cast of characters in this bitch. They don't trust him. They don't trust him to be able to fucking front his own movie, man. They really don't. It's kind of sad for him. Web shooters are still on the outside of the gloves. No, because he has. No, he doesn't have organic webbing. Yeah. Well, it should be. Should be. I think the suit looks fine. The colors are right. The spider symbol on his chest always changes with whoever is drawing Spider-Man. So it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, I'm not really worried about the suit as much as I'm concerned about the story. I don't give a fuck about the suit, just like I didn't care about Superman's suit. I'm not showing up for the Superman suit. I'm showing up for the story. And the story is where that movie let me down, not the suit. I don't care. If it looks kind of like the classic suit, awesome. Spider-Man, it looks closer to the classic Spider-Man suit, fine. We saw that in the last movie. Just fucking get to it already. I'll be more concerned about the story, how that pulls together, because they got way too many outside characters in this shit for it to be a brand new day where nobody knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man. It seems like the same old day to me. Just a different day of the week. You on to something, bro. The biggest superhero characters can't get a movie to themselves. I blame management. Yeah, for real. I said this forever with Tom Holland. He wanted more money to do Spider-Man. He wasn't getting Robert Downey Jr. money, even though he thought he should. You can't. You can't. The reason being is you can't front a movie on your fucking own. Every goddamn movie, they've had to bring in a cast of characters to push your fucking movie. Every one. That shows little of no faith in you, in your name, to push a movie. And that's already been proven out with Uncharted. It was just you and Mark Wahlberg. Y'all couldn't push that shit to success. Not to draw like that, apparently. And Sony back at it. Bunch of people in your fucking movie that ain't got shit to do with what the story should be. Only person they ain't announced in this shit is Mephisto, which I think any comic book geek would be more interested in seeing, since it's about Brand New Day. I'll put Mephisto in there. Is he not in it? Y'all don't have Sacha Baron Cohen anymore? What? They give a fuck about seeing Mark Ruffalo's the Hulk? Who cares? Nobody likes that version of Hulk anyway. Now they see rumors that they're going to turn him gray. I don't give a fuck. They can turn him rainbow. I don't care. I'm not showing up to the Spider-Man movie to see the fucking Hulk. You want to give me the Hulk? Wait till an Avengers movie. Since that's the only place you used it. Yeah, Malika. I heard a rumor there was a movie called Uncharted 2. It didn't chart. Or it charted low. Wasn't the game. Imagine that. Peace, Dr. Rosie. So the suit is fine. Yes, they're filming the movie now. All out in the streets. Awesome. You can look for a lot of goddamn spoilers now. People snapping pictures and shit. Trying to be the first one to tell you we saw something, we figured out what the story is and what's going to be happening in the movie. Great. That means I don't have to watch it now, do I? Let's do this. See shit like this? I know that's part of their media campaign. Where they're filming out in the streets. And Toby's in the costume. And meeting fans and shit. Yeah, I guess that's awesome. Can we get to the fucking movie part of it? None of this tells me if the movie's going to be any good or not. None of it. His little ass. That's a grown man standing next to him. He's shorter than the grown man. Holy shit. Photo ops, photo ops, photo ops. In this view, he looks kind of like the what's his name, Hammond Spider-Man from the 80s. At least the eyepieces do. And he has no ass. Funny. And a mic back there. Funny. Oh, Tom. Where's your skinny? I need a sandwich girlfriend. Fiance. Yeah, you got the mic in his back pocket. So the suit looks fine. But like I said, I'm not showing up for the fucking suit. I'm showing up for the story. And if the story's no good, it doesn't matter what the damn suit looks like. Herb, is that a real question? You being funny today, huh? You being funny today. You think they'll reveal everything about the movie in the trailers again? Oh, who want to bet on it? Who wants to bet on it? We could run a pool on which trailer is gonna spoil the whole movie. First, second, and third. Fucking hell, dude. That's damn near definite. If they didn't do it, it would be a surprise. It would be a huge surprise because they're the common thing that they do is spoil it in the trailers, and it's Sony, so you know they can't hold fucking water either. They worse than Marvel. At least Marvel can film without you getting all the set pictures and shit like that. Sony running a whole meet and greet while he going to set. If they're going to put any additional characters in this movie, it should be the Sinister Six. But since they haven't focused on Spider Man, they can't. Yeah, because they're focused on Spider Man and shit. This is the sharing deal. This is the drop off that you get the kids for the weekend situation. So Marvel booked a play date with Spider Man through Sony, so he could play with the Punisher and Daredevil and the Hulk. Awesome. So I guess we're going to watch a play date for 2 hours. All right. Co-parenting can be such a chore. Yeah, that's not even a question. So that was blowing up the internet. I didn't think it was that much to actually talk about because the main thing is, do you like the suit or do you not like the suit? And if you were excited after No Way Home to see him put on the classic Spider-Man suit and swing out over the city, then you were. If you weren't excited about that shit, then you won't be. This is not a reveal of anything that wasn't already shown to you in the last movie. So can we get on with it, please? Just start filming. No fanfare, no paparazzi. Just start fucking filming and control your leaks. Because the leaks that keep coming out of the Russo camp about Doomsday is making me not want to watch the goddamn movie now. I just listened to this dude give his whole synopsis on what the story of Doomsday is and how it's going to work together with the Fantastic Four and all this stuff. And most of this is all from fucking leaks. Like, you sign these actors to NDAs. Do you not do that with the staff? Are there not harsh consequences? Like, if we find out you leaked any of this shit you have access to, your ass will be fired? Does anybody give a shit about the audience experience in watching this damn movie? Or do they just want kudos for the fact that they're making the movie? That's the big draw. I don't know. I don't want to hear everything about Doomsday. I want to hear the movie has a script. The script was done before they started filming, and the movie wrapped. And it's coming out this day. That's what I want to hear. I don't give a fuck about none of the rest of that stuff. I don't need plot leaks and stuff like that every step of the way, every fucking month. I don't need that. It's not going to disappear from my mind because I haven't heard anything about it in a month. Excuse me. It's the next Avengers movie from Marvel. We all know it's coming. Even the regular movie going audience knows it's coming eventually. All you need to do is put out a fucking trailer when it's done. And the audience will be right there lining up buying tickets. But for us who are actually in the know, the initiated, this constant barrage and let me know. And now we're doing this, and this is what it is, and this is what it could be. And now we're doing this. Look at these set photos. Look at these pictures snuck from the set. You spoiling it for me. Would you shut the fuck up, please? How monumental can the movie be if it's going to be spoiled for a whole year before it even comes out? How? You heard me. I was pleasantly surprised that I went and saw the Fantastic Four, and the best moments in the movie weren't the ones that were in the trailers. Like, oh my God, maybe they learned something because they were showing me way too fucking much already. I didn't need all of that. Who does? A 4-year-old? Just make the fucking movie and let me go on with my life until then. You see, yeah, how come nobody's getting fired or sued behind leaks? I'd be suing people. If I was a studio head, I'd be suing people. I'd have a team of people that scour the internet looking for leaks. And every time one of these YouTubers popped up with an anonymous source or some shit like that, and they see what it is, I'd be sourcing that shit back to who it came from. Oh, it must be somebody in this office. You are now banned from the set. But you are now banned from the set. Like a comedy show, you got to put your cell phones in the little Dyson bag. Your phones will be going in a Dyson bag till we wrap for the day. That's when you get your fucking phone back. Nobody can reach you. You can't stream. You can't do none of that shit. You want to talk to somebody on set? Use a walkie-talkie, bitch. No. No pictures, no video, no audio, none of that shit. This is supposed to be something that's going to be a surprise and monumental for the audience. You ruin that experience when you go and try to sell your little pictures, your grainy videos to somebody else to put it up on somebody's YouTube page. You fuck that experience up for them. And I will not have my movie ruined like that. So there will be charges brought up. Because if you think about it in this sense, if you work in a retail store and you take something off the shelf, walk outside and sell it to somebody else, you're still in company property, right? It's a crime. Why is it any different with taking pictures of proprietary sets, costumes, pictures, information? Why is it any different for that stuff? If you take it in, give it away, or sell it online as a leak source, why is it any different? You're still in proprietary intellectual property. It's not yours. You didn't make it. And you're doing it for some reason. You getting some kind of butter biscuit for the shit. So why aren't you getting sued for it? Because you don't know who's doing it. There's too many people on the set. Bullshit. Half these leaks, you can tell where it came from, who would have access to that kind of information. No, man. I'm sick of spoilers and I'm sick of leaks. And that's just me. I would like the integrity or the viewing experience as an audience member to be upheld and appreciated for what it is. My experience is seeing it for the first time. The more you ruin that experience, the more I don't have an interest in seeing your shit. There's no reason to. It'd be easier for me to buy a streaming service and wait a month, 2 months until it hits the streaming service and watch it for free than it would be to spend my money, $20 for a ticket, $20 for popcorn and a soda to sit in the theater and say, no, I seen all of this in the trailer. Oh, I heard about this from the spoilers online. That's ruined for me. The Odyssey comes out in a year. You heard any spoilers about that movie? Or is it just a different kind of fan? They not such rabid spoilers that you got to tell them something so they can be calm, like some fucking ADD kid who actually needs his toy or something like that, or he gonna lose his shit in the middle of the store. Fuck you. Learn how to maintain. I'm not pacifying fucking the wild child. What up, Charles? Darkness. Prepare for my arrival. Here we go. That's what you got to stream for. And Charles D. Curry walked by YN the other day. I said, dang, brother, you loud as hell. What the fuck is YN? I don't understand what that comment means. Oops, I got shit hanging out my nose. Excuse me. So, like you, Beastly, I think they should be getting sued for that shit. You're stealing proprietary information. Fuck a leak. Fuck a leak. You were stealing proprietary information from the company, and now you can leave. You have no more access. You ruined the experience for the fans. You're not helping the fans. You ruined it for the fans. Yes, I know bigger YouTubers need stuff to talk about. But if they're good, they won't need the spoils. They know this shit anyway, right? You can speculate or talk about something else. What's amazing is that the film studios can go after or sue individual content creators for fan-made things, but can't go after leakers. And now you're thinking like me, Beastly. Like, why the fuck? That doesn't even make any sense. In the retail concept I was giving you, the scenario I was giving you, if your drawer was short at that job, you put something aside that was on sale for yourself, you could get fired. It didn't matter how many years you were there, you could get terminated for that shit. Right? Just say it was a $20 Stanley mug. You hid one on the aisle for yourself. They caught your ass on video doing that shit, you would get fired for that shit. But here's the funny part. If you, as a regular customer, walked in the store and took 20 of them fucking bitches, threw them in your cart, and walked out the front door without paying, they wouldn't do shit to you. Nobody could stop you. They couldn't run after you. They couldn't touch you. Nothing. You could get in your car and drive the fuck off. Which one seems to make the least amount of sense? The person that's working there saving one of those for themselves and losing their whole job, or the thief coming in there stealing 20 and not even getting accosted on his way out? Stupid. So that's it for the Spider-Man. I don't care about the Spider-Man. I'm glad they're making a movie. Good. Get it done. I'll watch it when it comes out. I don't need updates every 5 minutes about that shit. That's not the way I operate in life. I don't need that much. I know it's coming. I'll mark it on my calendar. And when I see a trailer, then I'll start getting hyped. Because that means the damn thing is done. Until that time, stop bothering me. Stop fucking bothering me. I have other shit to do. My nose is completely backed up right now. It is 10:30. Go get this medication. All right. So the last thing I would say is about George Lucas showing up to San Diego Comic Con, his first appearance. Now, most people will miss the fact that George Lucas showing up at Comic Con was not there to talk about fucking Star Wars. He wasn't. He was there to talk about the museum that he and Guillermo del Toro are opening up, which is the Narrative Arts Museum in LA. That thing looks beautiful. Now, one of the things he did in on having his there we go. Having this panel there was talk about this museum and what it means and whatnot. And what you have is George sitting around spinning, sharing his wisdom, his ideas, his thoughts about the medium of art and what it can do. Not about Star Wars, which the first video I saw about that shit really pissed me off because the dude tried to reduce it to talking about Star Wars. Like, oh, he said this about Kathleen Kennedy. Then I listened to the whole panel, which you should do. And said, this motherfucker don't know what he talking about. He just took a snippet and tried to spin that into some shit talking about Kathleen Kennedy. You can make whatever you want to out of it, but that's not what the hell he was talking about. He was talking about the importance of art and how important art is into shaping, having an organizing principle for people, organizing mythology, like Star Wars. But this jerk off was spinning it to talking about Kathleen Kennedy. See, he's telling Disney they're doing it wrong. We all know Disney's doing it wrong. He didn't have to say that shit, but that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about this right here. This is the museum. That shit looks awesome to me. That looks awesome. I would plan a trip to LA to go to that museum now because I didn't know what was happening. Up in San Francisco, we have what is it? It's not Pixar. Like I think it's like Lucasfilm's museum or Disney Museum or whatever at the Presidio. I haven't been there. I was there when they were building it because my cousin worked on that job, so I went to that job while they were building it. I haven't been there since it opened. This right here, I would show up for that. Because if you don't know, narrative art is about comic books, not Star Wars. Apparently, George Lucas was such a fucking nerd that he loves comic books and art pieces and has been collecting them since he got out of college, in college, before he got out of college. So at this rate, probably 40 goddamn years. Same thing with Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo was saying that he has like 40,000 pieces. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. What? In different houses. Like, holy shit. So they got together, pieced up some money. I don't know if you know how construction costs are, but they got a building made to put art in. Comic art. Not in a little rinky dink exhibit, not some little small shop on Artist Alley during the convention, a whole fucking museum that you can see from the air. Holy shit. Now, the more interesting part of the conversation was getting where George came up with the idea and his philosophy on art and what it means to people and a culture. And I think some of that shit was going over people's heads because they just want him to talk about, Star Wars. He was talking about Star Wars and he wasn't talking about Star Wars because when you hear him talk, having never been in a room with him, only knowing him from fucking interviews and shit, he sounds like fucking Yoda. He sounds like Yoda. This is the guy who wrote Yoda's lines. And he sounds like that of how he's thinking about stuff and how far ahead he's thinking about stuff to bring something, to make something that people can adjust to. One of the most poignant things he said, now this is a cool ass picture right here, this damn. And I don't think this is an artist rendering. This is the actual museum. That's cool as shit. He's talking about how art is, outside of it being subjective, it's for you. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks of it. Does it? Did it mean something to you? Did you feel something from it? Then the job is done. If not, move on and look at the next thing. That shit was so much what we have talked about. I've talked about on this channel before. Just about doing reviews. If I didn't feel it, I don't feel like doing a goddamn review. I'm not doing it to chase the trend on YouTube. I'm not doing it because everybody else reviewed it. I'm doing it because it meant something to me. And if it didn't, I'm not fucking reviewing it. I don't feel like doing it. No. It might not be a good business model. But I've told you, I'm a shit businessman. I am a geek, though. And some of this shit work for me, and some of it don't. And that's what I give you. So if you wonder why are you not watching this show? Because I'm not interested in that shit. But the audience might be interested in it. Maybe. How would I know? Is my opinion because I have it, or is my opinion an opinion because that's where everybody else was moving? It was a good speech. It's a 45-minute talk, and if you listen to YouTube any amount of time, 45 minutes don't mean shit unless you only watch shorts. In short terms, it's 4 shorts. You can watch 4 shorts. Asshole. I would suggest you go to the San Diego Comic-Con YouTube page and watch and listen to George and Guillermo and Peter Chang talk about narrative arts, what it means to them. Understand who these men are that make this stuff. Excuse me, not Philip Chang, Doug Chang. Because Doug Chang has been at Lucasfilms for a long goddamn time. He was one of my picks for a person to just run Lucasfilm. But he's an illustrator. I guess he's not interested in that business side like that. That's fine. He's worked with George for decades, I would think, at this point. He knows his shit. He can draw. Cool. Listening to the three of them talk, I get that Guillermo is really political. And in this day and time, he really got some low-key shit to say about Trump or whatever. But he also credits that, excuse me, catch my breath, that art can be political. It can be propaganda. He admits that shit, which is true. Art is used for propaganda purposes, which right now makes me think of the Eyes of Wakanda, because that's some propaganda shit. But listen to him talk about art and listen to George talk about art and what it means to him to have these pieces and not have it as a way, yeah, I have these pieces, I sold it for some money and now it's gone. No, art it's stuff that he would never part with, that he's accumulated over this lifetime, and he would never part with it. So it should be in a museum. Sound familiar? Does that not sound like Indiana Jones? It should be in a museum. So his pieces, Guillermo's pieces, are going to go into a museum so other people can look at this stuff and see it. Because it does no good in a private collection where, I don't know, one fire can erase them all and nobody else will ever see them because it's just pieces of somebody's private collection. A lot of the stuff I see George doing nowadays, even down to him selling Star Wars, is understanding his mortality, is that he is not going to live forever. And he has made moves to put things out there so us as the fans or culture in general, the community, can have these things to look at, can still have them going forward. If that's not a man planting the seeds for a tree for the shade he will never sit in, I don't know what else is. A building like that, that looks like, and I could be wrong, that looks like damn near $1 billion job. Probably 500 million. That is a hell of a job. It is. Yeah. All the money didn't come out their pocket personally because you have backers and shit like that when you do big construction projects like that. But that's a hell of a job to do. That's a lot of money generated for that. That's worth a visit to LA just to see. You might not give a shit about anything else in LA. The beach, Hollywood Boulevard, some Mass Chinese Theater, Hollywood Walk of Fame, some slums, Compton, some shit. But that's something I think worth seeing in LA. And I'm gonna figure out how I can get down there so I can go to that museum. Summer is damn near over, but I don't know, maybe around my birthday or something. I need to go to LA to go to that museum because I would like to see those works of art in a place that looks that goddamn big, especially comic book art. Comics have meant a lot to me in life, period. Period. And to see it have an actual museum, not some little exhibit that traveled that got taken down the next week or some shit like that, but actually have its own museum. Yeah. It's like that speech from Unbreakable where Elijah, Mr. Glass, is telling this dude about the comic book art. This is art. It's art. It's art produced on a monthly basis. Dare I say, some of it is fine art. It's not just, Da Vinci and Picasso and stuff like that, just people painting and stuff like that. This is actually drawn by people that spend hours at their art tables, hours, days, years developing their skills and their craft to produce something that might just be a cover, might just be a cover, might just be a splash page in a book somewhere. But there's so much work and detail put to that shit. You can't do anything but look at it and say, damn, this is magnificent. This is magnificent art. This should be hanging up in a museum somewhere. Yeah, Malika. Art should be shared and admired, not hoarded and held prisoner. Exactly. Because what good does it do in your private collection just so you can pull your little dick out and say, "You look, it's big because I got this." So what? You and your friends know. I guess that's all that matters. I own a piece of this. Good. What does it do for you? Return on investment? Something for insurance if your house burns down? I know my comic book collection. I know there's some books in there that are worth some money, and I don't give a shit because I didn't buy it because it was going to be worth money. I bought it because it was good. I bought it because I enjoyed it. But I also know, having worked in a comic book store, in a citadel of geekdom, that upon my death, those boxes will end up in somebody's comic book store. And they will have to, some asshole that works there will have to put a price on those boxes to decide if they're going to buy them or not. And if nobody wants to buy them, those fucking boxes will be sitting somewhere at a yard sale or in the scrap paper bin to be pulped up and turned into something else. This shit is not forever. It will go away. All the joy, all the entertainment, all the conversation, all the knowledge I got, all the life lessons I may have learned from reading these comics will be completely gone because I will be gone. And it won't mean a goddamn thing to anybody standing next to me. It'll just be some shit that needs to be moved somewhere. It'll be an expense. It'll be a burden. That's it. But if any of those books that I had were included in a museum like this, other people other than the people who bought the book could see it and maybe get something from it. They might not have had the story, but they have the art. Excuse me. And unlike the Vandals, I don't think, or I should say, like the Vandals, I don't think art should be destroyed or lost. That is for everybody. You make what you will of it. But the artist himself should not be catered to your wills on what art they produce. If you like it, cool. If you don't, cool. The artist still has to make art. Now, there was a little bit of a flap that came out for this, which I thought was fucking stupid. It was a good point, but it was stupid to even mention that shit. That George said that he didn't believe art should be sold. Right? And then after San Diego Comic Con, fucking geeks went in on him because he sold Star Wars. His art. He sold it. And while people were like agreeing, like, yeah, you sold your art, you're kind of a hypocrite. I'll say this for the people who don't actually have fucking children and don't understand this. Parents are fucking hypocrites. Parents are hypocrites. Because nobody knows this shit all. We're all living and learning. And the reason why I can buy George saying that you don't sell your art is because he knows the downfall of selling his art and what it means and what it looks like. That's why he can say something like that and not seem like a fucking hypocrite to me. He made a decision at one time that he thought was the best decision going forward for what he wanted to do. Have his art live on past him. Now he gets to see how the people who bought it treat it and have damn near ruined it. He feels some kind of way about that shit. Welcome to his second venture to save art. And while he could sit up there on a s- on a panel and tell you something like not selling art, that is a new development. He may not have been thinking about that at the time he did sell Star Wars, but he is damn sure thinking about it now. He shouldn't have sold it. And there's been enough fucking interviews when he's expressed resentment or regret about selling his property that he shouldn't have because of how they're treating it, how they're using it, how they're destroying it right in his fucking face. If I ever wanted to know exactly how bad George Lucas felt about watching Star Wars go from the number one brand in the world to being something that people barely want to watch, I heard it in that interview. I heard the pain in his voice talking about shit like that. That comes from experience. That's the difference. It sounds hypocritical if you don't have any experience. But hearing it come from him, that's experience talking. He regrets that shit wholeheartedly. I don't see it any differently. He regrets that shit. Should have never did that. He's probably kicking himself to this day. I should have never did that shit. Bob just really did me dirty with that shit. Yeah, but that's how you find out shit like that. That's what comes from trusting people. When you trust certain people or people in general, period, you have to accept the idea that they can do something fucked up. They can't do something fucked up to you. That is the nature of trust. You have to accept that that's a possibility, but you kind of hope for the best. It's like me and JT were talking about this earlier this week. It's like dating a chick. Yeah, you can know she's crazy. You can. You can know she's crazy because she's a female. She can be emotional and shit. But you're going to have to trust, if you vet her enough, you're going to have to trust that she's going to act within the best interest of the relationship or the both of you. Or you could trust that she's not going to do that. But either way, you have to plan accordingly. But trust is, I'm going to give you the room to possibly fuck me over. And giving you that room to do that is going to prove what kind of person you are. It's not going to prove the kind of person I am at all. It's going to prove who you are. Because somebody who has that amount of trust is given that kind of trust and that kind of leeway, and they turn around and fuck the person that gave them that trust, proves that you are an untrustworthy motherfucker. It doesn't prove them stupid for trusting you. No. It shows that they're more courageous than you. That's why they decided to trust you. What it really proves is that you are not the person that should be trusted. You proved it. That's all it means. You proved it. Because put it this way, they could go on and trust somebody else later on and not have a negative experience. Your ass has to be known as a person who is untrustworthy. You don't get to go get trust from somebody else again. You don't. You fucked up. It's known. Why do you think Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy won't leave Disney? Because everybody know who the fuck they are. They've seen what they've done. Kathleen Kennedy can't get a job somewhere else. That's why she ain't leaving. Who in a right or left fucking mind would hire her to run a money-making franchise? No one. Because they've already saw what she did with one of the biggest brands on the planet. That is not good on your resume, bitch. For somebody who was supposedly a friend of yours. That's not good on your resume. You can't do shit else. said this years ago. I wonder who the next person to hire her is going to be. I would really want to know. You can't get hired. You have broken all trust, not just with people who know you, seeing how you did George, but with a fan base who gave you the benefit of the doubt. You've already proved it. You ain't worth shit. Trust destroyed. Trust destroyed. Even as good as Andor was, it doesn't make up trust with you. It doesn't fix shit for you. Like, oh, she didn't get involved with this. We'll see how much better it was. No. You have no trust to be gained from anybody anymore. Nobody trusts you. Uh-uh. He didn't sell Lucasfilms thinking they would mess it up. I mean, he thought they had the same vision as him, especially since the person he left in charge worked under him. Exactly. But that's what trust is. You have to give people room to disappoint you. Doesn't mean that you think they are. Doesn't mean that you want to hold your breath until they do. You just know that it's a possibility. And knowing a thing is a possibility is completely different than praying on that possibility to become a reality. Completely different. That's what trust is. Trust is that I'll give you the room to fuck up. It's possible you'll fuck up, but I'm going to give you that room to do it. If you need a better example, a child with a new license driving your car. You're going to have to trust that they can handle this vehicle without wrecking the bitch. You're going to have to. Maybe you put things in place to make sure they have the training, they've done the driving test and got their license and all the rest of that shit. But at the end of the day, when you look at them and say, "Hey, can I run to the store? Can I use the car to run to the store?" You're gonna look at them and be like, "This motherfucker gonna wreck my shit? Is this the day this motherfucker dies in a car crash? Will they run over somebody?" They done the training, they got the certificates, they passed with flying colors. They drove me and the wife around. Yeah, man, go ahead. Bring me back some Gatorade. Okay. Hey, mind your surroundings, okay? All right. Okay. You're going to have to do that. You're going to have to take your hands off of it and let it be what it's going to be. You understand that it can happen, but you've taken all the other precautions to prevent that scenario from happening. So then you got to let it play itself out. And maybe the kid drives to the store, no problems, comes back. No dings on the car, no nothing. You're like, oh, well, then I can trust you a little bit more the next time you want to buy her. Awesome. That's how it works. Kathleen Kennedy, first out the gate, she started fucking up Georgia's shit. Out the gate. He couldn't even be gone long enough for her to start fucking that shit up. Same thing with Bob. Like, I don't know how y'all got any credibility with talking to any investor whatsoever. I really don't. They must just like eating bullshit. Because that's all you could be spending. George is a billionaire, world-renowned producer, director, and creative. He can do what the hell he wants with his IP. Just him co-creating this museum is a sign of his generosity and humanity. Yes, it is. And that's what he did it for. He did it for everybody else. He didn't do it for himself. He did it so this stuff can live on past him. That's why he's putting his art pieces in there. That's why Guillermo del Toro is putting his art pieces in there. Because what good is it doing sitting in their private library? They die one day, and then somebody is, giving leak footage of his archive and then selling his shit off because they stole it here and there when they found out he was close to dying. That shit. The same shit you see happen in just families. Oh, I'm so sad. Auntie dying. But I always liked that china cabinet she had. Come over to Auntie's house and get this china cabinet. She in the hospital. She not gonna be there. She ain't gonna be in there much longer. Let's get this china cabinet because I don't want your sisters and stuff like that to come over here and get this shit. Sound familiar? Or am I on an island in the world that's seeing this goofy shit? George decided to leave something for everybody. For the greater good. Not his, the greater good. Art needs to be shared. People need to see it. People need to see it and have a reaction to it and let it change them. Let it be transformative for them. It is better if it's in one place where everybody can access it. The one place ain't your private den. But a museum, it's kind of permanent. Awesome. Do it. I want to go see it. I want to be there. I want to see if we can go upstairs, up top, and I want to put my hands on the coating for this building. Here's a weird thing I do, y'all. You might try this if you travel any. When I travel somewhere that I've enjoyed or it's just a spectacle to see, I take pictures of my hand on that shit. Like when I went to Yosemite and I didn't go to the top of El Capitan or whatever because I'm not climbing the mountain like that. But I went to the base of that motherfucker, right? Climbed all the way up to the base of that bitch and put my hands right on that fucking stone. And took a picture of my hand on that stone. Why? Because it proves I was there. I've touched it. I know what it feels like under my fingers. I know what the air tastes like to be there. I know what it sounds like to stand there and just listen. I know what it looks like to see all these rocks that I'm climbing over to get up there to that shit and understand that these motherfuckers was further up a while back and they fell down here. And this is basically the drop zone for all these big ass boulders and shit that made that little crest. Awesome. Cool. I was here. When I walked across the Golden Gate Bridge, that was the main thing I did. When I got to the center of that bitch, that center piling for that arch, I put my hand on that steel. I held that fucking steel and understood what it meant that a bunch of decades ago, somebody else was holding this steel when they built it. They held it to put it in place. They held it to drive rivets through it. This is touching history and make a connection to people who have been here before me. It was important to me to do that because that makes it real. It's not a picture. It's not living through screens. It's actually getting out and touching fucking life. Not just grass, life. Real things. And having a connection to a real thing. I go to this museum, that's exactly what the hell I'm going to do. I'm going to put my hands on that bitch. I want to get up there on the top and see what the skyline looks like in LA standing on that museum top. I want to understand what that means. Because only people who go to the museum will see that view. And for a while, only the construction workers that were building it got to see that view. It's important to me and how I look at the world. It's important. Tactile, sensory, information. So that is it. What else was there in geekdom? Oh, propaganda. I think I'll finish up with this so I can. It's already 11 o'clock and I need to go get this medication. I went to see The Naked Gun and I watched Eyes of Wakanda yesterday. I could say this in brief about the two of them. Eyes of Wakanda looks really cool. It does. When you understand what the Eyes of Wakanda title means, which means these are all stories about the war dogs who are basically the eyes of Wakanda out in the world because they're going and seeing what's going on in the world and returning these artifacts like an Indiana Jones quest. One of the things I noticed about this is that it plays very similar to Predator's Killer Among Killers, or Killer of Killers. Plays really similarly to that, especially the first episode. And being that they both came from Disney, somebody was stealing from somebody else. Now, at least for the first episode, I can tell you this. I'm sick of this trope of the girl boss female Viking. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. The female Viking, really? With the shield? Who keeps pushing this shit forward, man? Who keeps pushing this shit forward? Now, I can say for the Eyes of Wakanda, it is very female centric. Yes, some of the stories revolve around a central male character, but what they have done in that show is go back and, for my money, rewrite the war dog mythos to that their mandate in the future was all because of a woman. And their mission now is her mission because she was the first one to do it. And she is as much a Mary Sue as anybody. It looked nice. The stories were kind of interesting that you see that some of these Wakandas throughout history have been stuck into these places that you know from history, which just reads like revisionist history. That's all it reads as. It just reads as you're revising history. That Wakandans were there. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But that they were there for the greater good of returning these stolen Wakandan artifacts to Wakanda. And that was the war dog job. I don't know. I don't know about that. Now, mind you, there's 4 episodes in this show, so you can watch it pretty quick. They're about 30, 32 minutes apiece. In every episode except one, the war dogs, the war dog that's featured in the episode is shown to be a hell of a fighter compared to anybody else. It doesn't matter if they're Vikings, if they're samurai, if they're Greeks or Romans. It doesn't matter. They are superb fighters above all of those. Except when you come to the one episode where they introduce a little Asian woman as the Iron Fist, and then the Wakandan war dogs are completely incompetent and can't fight. But every other episode, they were the most competent fighters on the field because it was mostly women. But when it got to a situation where the war dog was a guy and the opposition was a female, the female was kicking his ass. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. What is this shit? Who signed off on this? I saw the Kugler name thrown in there. Ryan's wife and himself thrown in there for an episode or two. But I'm still like, man, you're not fooling me with this shit. This is the problem when I watch videos. Like, y'all know I like Comics Explained. I have a lot of respect for Rob and what he does. And I watch his videos and hear him going over the stuff that's going on in Marvel Comics with the gods and stuff like that. And I don't get how he doesn't see that every time they introduce a new big bad or something's been replaced, it's always a woman. It's always a female. Eternity is dead, but his sister came along and she's more badass than Eternity. So wait, you can kill Eternity, but the one that's better than him now is this new chick? What? I wonder if this is the hospital pharmacy. 1 second, you guys. Because it's the pharmacy calling me. You can now leave. Sorry, you guys. Are available for pickup at 3678 Mill Boulevard. Visit cpf.com/account to create or access your account from prescription information. Text JOY to 8982872 to enroll in text messaging. All right, my prescription is ready. Okay, so getting back to it. While I was interested, it did have a propagandist kind of attitude to me that everything is shifting over to women. And it was really just making me tired of it. I really realized watching that show, I'm really tired of the shift now. I really am. Seeing the same type of Viking chick show up in this, and then in Predator Killer of Killers was like, dude, I've already seen this. Whose idea is this at Disney that this is what needs to happen? Whose idea? I've seen repetitive scenes from in this, Eyes of Wakanda, and in Killer of Killers. Same shit. Same basic story. You track this shit over time and see each leapfrogging incident that builds on the last episode. I'm like, bro, this is not even original at this point. It's just dumb. You can tell by looking at it. If you've seen, Predator Killer of Killers, you can tell. Okay, somebody heard about this episode and they thought it would be good for them. So they went and stretched that out to 4 episodes for their own fucking animated show. That's what it was. That's just somebody stealing. Not being creative. And in some ways, you can see it because the Killer of Killers art looks a little cheaper done. So, Eyes of Wakanda, while it was a little bit entertaining because it looked nice from an art perspective, the subtext that they're constantly throwing in there that the most powerful and the bestest person ever is always going to be the female. And in what 1200 BCE, I don't think that was a female going out there and doing this shit. I don't. That doesn't even, to my mind, fit. Wakandan or not. So, I don't know. If you're a Black Panther fan, if you understand the Dora Milaje and the War Dogs, because the way they setting this shit up, Dora Milaje is like the feeder group into the War Dogs, when that is not the fucking case, and that is not what the Dora Milaje were. Check it out, then you can have an opinion on that shit. Don't let just my opinion put you off to it. If you want to watch it, watch the shit. And then you can see for yourself what it is and what it isn't, and probably see some stuff that I might have missed. Like Dr. T watching this, I would be interested to see what he said. I would. Maybe even BGS, because he has more of the historical context in it of what African culture would be around this time frame. Me watching it, I was like, I wasn't overly feeling it. I watched it, I wasn't overly feeling it. That shit was bothering me. Just like the black dude being the one who killed Achilles. Like I said, revisionist history. So that was that. The Naked Gun. Having remembered the Police Squad show, being a fan of the Leslie Nielsen's Naked Gun movies, I was going in and liking Liam Neeson as an actor. I was already going into this looking to see what it was, but I was kind of a lock for it. And I was not disappointed. I went with the Bears because Kev asked me if I wanted to go see Naked Gun, and it just so happened that at the time I was watching Double Toasted's review of the Naked Gun. I'm like, this sounds funny. I need to go check this out because Corey seemed like he had a good ass time watching this shit. As soon as I was watching that video and decided, okay, I'm gonna go see Naked Gun this weekend, Kevin had texted me and said, what do you think about seeing a Naked Gun this weekend? I was like, cool. Yes. Yes. What time? So we went and saw it early Saturday morning. Me, him, Jen, Morgan, and Brian. And then we went and had lunch afterwards and just talked geek shit. Right. But the movie was fun. It was fun. There were some jokes in that motherfucker I didn't believe that they put on the screen. And I was looking down the aisle at Morgan's like, how old is Morgan now? Morgan's 16, so she all right. Like, okay, so this will be completely fine. It still was a little far, but damn, it was funny. It was fucking funny. The only ridiculous part that I could pull from it was the bit with the owl. But otherwise, some of that other shit there, that was fucking hilarious, dude. I was laughing and chuckling throughout the whole movie. I did do that, which is good. Look, you need some stupid fun sometimes. You do, and this was stupid fun. I think Liam Neeson was perfect. Having watched Liam Neeson since Excalibur, Dark Man, watching this movie and matching it up to a character like he played in A Walk Amongst the Tombstones. That's a pretty good goddamn actor. Same coat, same jacket. It was like, I got to get me a 3/4 length jacket like that because that's just like his trademark now. But it was funny in that good way that you can't do all the time now. Like Corey from Double Toasted was mentioning movies like Airplane and stuff like that. This movie did comedy in that way that we don't do anymore. And it's like, yes, because we can't. Too many people get offended by too many goddamn things. They do. So, in my mind, we are not a freer society. We are a more repressed society because you can't make a remake of an Airplane. You can't. You can barely show it because it's considered offensive. Because you have racial humor, sexual humor, titties being shown, double entendres, all kind of stuff thrown in there that, oh no, my poor gender fluid child cannot hear anything about this sexual content. So we're not freer. We're more repressed. Insensitive. I said this about the Spaceball sequel supposedly coming out. It's like, I don't know how that's going to work. I don't think we can do something like that nowadays. But if we can, I'm here for it. Let Mel Brooks figure it out. Because I don't think we can. But the Naked Gun, it was fun. The coffee cup gag was funny to me. It's a riff on any TV show you see nowadays. Completely. That everywhere they go, they got a coffee cup in their hand, and every time they walk into a new scene, somebody's giving them a new coffee cup. Like they just came from Starbucks. Like, fucking hell. That's hilarious. Even to the point where he driving down the road and somebody hands him a cup of coffee through the window. Now, the other funny part is there are cameos in this shit that are hilarious. Now, I mentioned one, which was Cody Rhodes. And I didn't know Cody Rhodes from WWE was in this shit. But it got to a scene, and I'm looking at this bartender. I'm like, that's Cody Rhodes. What the fuck is he doing in this movie? What the hell is he doing here? But he's in the movie. It is a kind of funny role. All right. He did fine. Like, but I wasn't expecting him in here. It was just surprising. There's some other cameos in it that are surprising. I could say Pamela Anderson for being the blonde hot chick for her day. Blonde, big titty, white chick for her day, even being a porn star. She looks old. I don't even know how old she is, but I'm like, damn, how old is Pamela Anderson? Is she my age or younger? I think she's younger. I don't think she's 50 something in her 60s. I don't think she's that old. But, some people age like milk. But she had her day. She had her day being a blonde, big booby chick, getting paid for boobs and everything else being shown. So I understand that Hollywood has a type, and there will be a new one for every epoch. It's just what it is. But as far as movie going experience, it was fun. It was a fun movie going experience. She's 58 now, her? Damn, so she is almost 60? Okay. Okay, that kind of makes some sense, I guess. Yeah. Face is still there, but I didn't think she was that damn old. Let me know. She only about 5 years older than me. Ouch. Wall is undefeated, boy. It is harsh and abrasive. Oof. But in this movie, it worked. The bit with the snowman. Oh, fuck. The bit with the snowman. I had heard double toasted a leaf. Not alleviate. Allude to something with the snowman. When I saw the snowman scene, I'm like, what the fuck? I was dying. I'm like, yep, that's how it would go. It was just comedy. It was just comedy. Just comedy. So if you want to just watch something fun, you don't have to take it overly seriously and analyze it and critique it and shit like that. You can watch The Naked Gun and get a good laugh off of this shit. And I can tell you this, if you stay through the credits, there's even jokes in the credits. There's even jokes throughout the credits. Stuff stuck in there. My favorite one was when they start going through the grips, Dolly grip, best boy grip, and all that shit. If you don't know what that is, that's the person that holds on, from my understanding, I could be wrong. It's the person who holds on to the carts that hold the crane arms for the cameras and shit like that, right? It gets down there and it says grip, tennis grip, conventional, Eastern, Western, whatever. I'm like, come on, man. Somewhere in there, if you watching it says Netflix password, like it just throws simple shit in there in the credits. So it makes you read the credits to find the gags in the credits all the way to the end. I was like, okay, so that was fun. That was actually fun. And it's not long. It's not a long movie. Less than 2 hours. You can be in and out of there in less time. That means it was shorter than Eyes of Wakanda and less offensive. Crazy. Crazy. And it was just fun. It was fun for me. So I enjoyed that shit. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because I need to go and get my medication. My nose is completely backed up again, and all of this, my head is now hot and my nose is now hurting. So I need to get whatever they got for me to clear this shit out so I can get right. So I'm going to have to pass on the panel today. Apologies. Um, I will try to make it up to you sometime this week before I head to Vegas because Sunday I'll be at my mother's. She's going to drive me to the airport. So I'll see you guys Sunday. You'll have a stream. I'll be at my mom's, but you'll have a stream that Sunday. And then after that, I will be in Vegas for that whole week. I'm not sure if I'll stream because I'm flying Holy Spirit Airlines, which means they want to charge you for every bag you bring. And I already think I'm going to get waxed for bringing my pool cues on the plane and not checking them in to luggage. So I'll have my Q bag and my clothing bag. And unless I stick my laptop in there, the motherfuckers are going to want to charge me another $100 for bringing one fucking bag on a plane. Anyway, I'm sitting first class. And I didn't give a shit. So we'll see how that works out. I'm not promising I'll stream, but I will take some videos, possibly some shorts from the tournament, so you can see what I'm seeing because it should be awesome. Should be awesome. And I will be playing a lot. The tournament starts today and it runs for 2 weeks. So when I get there on the 11th, there will be people there playing. There will be practice tables open. It's Vegas. There will be money and games going on the whole time. So I might get lucky and get me some practice games in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Hold on one second. One second, you guys. All right, that was the pharmacy letting me know my prescriptions were ready and they weren't costing an arm and a leg. But the doctor messed up the prescription for my albuterol because they see it as being two nasal inhalers and not one nasal, one antibiotic, and one albuterol. They have two for the same nasal thing, which makes no sense. On top of the antibiotic, it's like, I don't do drugs. I don't snort coke. Um, I'm not fond of shooting anything up my fucking nose. You should have seen me getting a COVID test back in the day, going to the drive-through or walking up and having that lady stick that long ass fucking um, Q-tip up my nose. So we're gonna see how this Flonase works, since the doctor thinks that's the best thing to use. I'm like, I ain't going in there. I don't know what it's gonna do, what it's gonna clean out if I can't breathe in this bitch. It's just gonna be leaking out my nose as soon as I shoot it up in there. I'm not a fan of things shooting into my orifices. I'm not female. Doesn't work for me. I have a mental block. So we'll see how that works. I need to go get out of here and go get that. So you weren't a fan of Flonase? Yeah, I have. I didn't realize this shit till I came from the store yesterday. I went to get some Mucinex and I couldn't figure out why the Mucinex was on clearance. I see a red tag on something that's on clearance. It's $10 when it's usually $20. I said, something wrong with this shit. Something is wrong. Why y'all clearing this out? The guy that opened the cabinet didn't know. Right? I was like, okay. Maybe it's expiring or something like that. I bought this nasal spray and then I went to the Dollar Tree and bought another nasal spray. And I didn't realize I bought two nasal sprays. I meant to grab like cough drops, Hall's cough drops to clear my nose, to try that too. Like I would do multiple things. And there were two nasal sprays that I haven't used because my old nasal spray that I had in the house was expired. Because apparently I have a lot of expired medication sitting around that I don't use. So I've taken a trip and bought 3 different medications, 2 different fucking nasal sprays. And then I talked to a doctor last night, and the doctor wants to give me a 3rd nasal spray. Okay, I guess that's what we'll be taking. So, and she sprigging for the Flonase. Cool. Good to have insurance, I guess. Do I consume ginger regularly? No. Is she cute? No, I don't consume ginger regularly. I found that works without the side effects. Yeah, I don't like side effects. I'm not a fan of medication. I don't. I'm not a fan of medication. I'm really not. I'm more into homeopathic stuff or naturally letting your body do what it needs to do to get this stuff out. But I understand at times it needs a little help to get the shit out because some stuff, like this fucking nostril, whatever's in it, is difficult. I'm really trying to push visions out of my head of actually going to the ER and them having to stick a pair of forceps up my nose and pull out a huge alien cocoon or some shit like that is blocking my fucking nose up. Like I said, imagination can be the scariest thing that you actually have because I have one, and that shit will spin me at 3 o'clock in the morning where you freaking out that you can't breathe. That'll spin you into a cycle like, shit, dude, I got a fucking alien in my nose. Ah! Fuck you up. Yes, water with a few slices of ginger could be helpful. Then I will find me some ginger. Slices of ginger, not a piece of ginger. got you. I'll take that trust. I thought I had some ginger tea in this bitch because I'm a big tea fan. I'll double check. I think I have some ginger tea. But the actually helpful nurse last night was like, drink hot liquids, drink a lot of liquids, and drink hot liquids to loosen it up. It's like, yeah, but it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I want to go to fucking sleep. I want to go to sleep. I don't need this shit dripping down my throat all fucking night. Wake it up. Fuck, I already got sleep apnea. Can't fight two things at the same time. And the main thing is I just need to breathe so I can sleep. Stay with this artisan. I'm not gone yet, but my fucking head is hurting. It is peaking up in a temperature category. So apparently I'm starting to get a fever. Of course, because Monday is around the corner. And I was supposed to do some hardcore geeking today because Pokemon Go got this Gigamax Butterfree that looks like fucking Mothra dropping today, and I want to catch that bitch because I like Mothra and Pokemon. So sue me. So I don't feel like I'm gonna be outside doing that shit today. So this is gonna suck for me. I have to be the only kid on the block that doesn't have a cool Mothra Butterfree. Add that up to all the rest of the trauma that I'm having right now. Anyway, thank you guys for coming through today. I will apologize for not having the open panel today. I will try to get back to you guys this coming Sunday when I'm getting ready to be on my way out to Vegas. I will try to stream or put up some videos or shorts or something like that from the tournament so you can see what it is. But if you want to look it up online or Instagram, check out APA World Championships in Las Vegas at the Westgate. That's where the fuck I will be. And that's what my team is getting to. We're getting to play in the minis, not the main tournament, but we get to play in the minis. So I get to see where I rank with other players from across the world, let alone the country, to see who was the better level 3s and level 4s in this shit, which is fun for me. If I get to meet Jeanette Lee, I will propose and take a picture with her. I know she's actually married and religious. Doesn't matter. She just needs to pose in a picture with me and act like she know me. It's cool. Just need to smell her. Let me smell your hair. What kind of perfume you wear? Nice. See how tall she is. It'd be fun for me. If I get to see Venom, the trick shot artist, I want to see how tall this motherfucker is and listen to his accent. See if I can do a shot that he can do. That'd be fun for me. It would be. Other than that, I'll look forward to seeing my teammates, my league operator, my 8-ball team captain, my other team member from the 8-ball team there, because he's going to be on the hustle. He is going to be on the hustle for real. He's trying to win money on the tables with other players, not just from the tournament part. I read it to my father yesterday. The 9-ball shootout is playing for $15,000 at every level. No, it's $10,000 at every level. And then the 8-ball shootout is $15,000 at every level. And that's just in the minis. So I read it to my cousin in Vegas, talking to him about my father staying with him. And the total for how much money is available for the last tournament was $1,700,000 something of payout for that tournament. So it's money on the line, even if you're playing in the minis. So it's $20 to buy into this shit. I believe even the last place finisher will probably end up with $100. That's not that bad for a $20 buy-in. Not bad for a $20 buy-in. So I'm looking to play and get some good games in. So it's good that I'm showing up a day or so beforehand, so I can get the nerves out of my system, and then just get there, get the focus, and get on my Punisher shit, and just start sniping motherfuckers. Because I'm looking to see where I rank in that shit. I'm looking forward to that, and then I'm looking forward to going back to Savannah, because that means I can go back to Morningstar games. So it'll be an extended trip, one vacation, 1 week for vacation, 2 weeks for work. It is what it is. It's a blessed time. So thank you guys for showing up today. I'm going to go get my medication. Apologizes for showing up late, but shit happens sometimes. Doesn't mean I don't love you. Just means I was trying to love myself a little more. So I will see you guys next time. Peace.